Thank you. You think there. All right. Hi everyone. It's been a long ass time since I've made a video. It's been a long time since I've streamed. I'll hopefully get back to that. But I just want to talk about a recent, an episode of Family Guy from last year that, okay, these are, I'm going to take my glasses off because they're causing a flare, or not a flare, but yeah, glare. So Ash and I have been watching Family Guy, and last night we watched an episode called White Meg Can't Jump, with the B plot being that Stewie sees Lois and Peter having sex, and it causes him to develop dissociative identity disorder. And I wanted to talk about that because if you're not new, or if you've been following our channel and stuff, you know that we have D.I.D. And so here's our thoughts on this. Number one, they use the old name for the diagnosis. It used to be called multiple personality disorder. They never referred to it as the proper or current name, which is, again, dissociative identity disorder. Another maybe not quite outdated, but not really good thing they did was that they called the alters personalities. Maybe some people with D.I.D. refer to them as personalities, but everyone I know and every medical journal that I've read about it has called them, personality states, but we refer to them as alters. And a couple of things that they did, I understand that they did because, it's a TV show. They have to let people know what's going on. Like visual changes when Stewie's alters would switch. He would shake his head and his eyes would change, or his hair. For one of his female alters, he would get like blush on his cheeks. And then alters talking in the outer world. That's not really a thing that happens. Like, we'll post things to, like, if one of us has a message for someone, we might write it down and leave it somewhere where that person might see it. Um, but like, I won't say something and then immediately switch to the person intended to hear it, and then they'll respond. It'll just take place in the inner world. And I kind of think that was a missed opportunity because they are a cartoon. They could have easily shown Stewie's inner world and shown what all the altars actually look like.
That would have been
Um, I did like that one of the victims was, or one of the altars was a victim, Kermit the Frog. Um, a lot of systems get criticized for having victims, which are just altars uh, that um, are kind of based on, well, fictional characters. And as someone who has a lot of victims in our system, that was actually pretty cool to see.
I was actually kind of surprised by it myself.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are like, oh, if you have a victim, you're not real or whatever. And so that was good. And then I also didn't like how it was like healed. Because Brian lies to him, and then like it's implied that he still has D.I.D, but for now it's all being repressed, which isn't a good way to deal with things. Like, because they had him in therapy, and that therapy moment was kind of bad. And I know it's because, they have to set everything back to status quo for the next episode. But I think it would have been cool if they were going to take on something like this, if they were going to have him, like, regularly go to a therapist and learn how to live with it, and maybe even bring in those other alters as normal characters. But yeah, that's just one system's opinions on this episode.
And if I may chime in, there's no reason that they can't do that because they did have Brian's therapist in there for a few episodes. And they can, if they wanted to, could have expanded on it. But instead, it was obvious that they were just doing a movie bit and decided to do something not great.
Yeah. Also,
Put it lightly.
That said, Split is a horrible. Well, I don't know if the movie itself like is. I can't judge the movie on how good or bad it is, but it did hurt the D.I.D community.
I mean, you did hear from like an actual friend of yours who has that D.I.D.
Yeah.
So.
Uh.
I'd say it's confirmed.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying I don't like it. Can be. Yeah, I've never watched it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know it's like I said, I know it's bad for the D.I.D community. I just don't know how, like,
How horrible.
yeah, like, yeah. Um, so this was a little ramble about this episode, and